And so when you talk about excellence, you're talking about the quality of being outstanding, exceptional, and even surpassing ordinary standards in a particular area of life. Is striving for excellence easy? No. But is it worth it? Yes. And on today's live, this morning, we're talking about striving for excellence. We're live on Facebook and YouTube at Equa Television International. Do well to join this conversation, striving for excellence. My name is Joyce Jakada. I'm not doing this alone. I have engineer Tony J. Nakali. Good
Happy to
morning.
be here.
Yeah, Prudence Sambo Solomon. Good morning.
Good
Morning,
morning.
Joyce.
You know, when you hear the talk about excellence and oh, you need to strive for excellence, it's like you're about to pull people to drag them beyond where they are willing to go. And that was why I said earlier on, is it easy? No. And that is why a lot of people will fight you when you're trying to bring out the best in them, or when you require or desire like them to put in like effort that will result to excellence. But is it worth it? Yes. And that is why at the end of the day, when a child is called, oh, first position, everybody's clapping, everybody's celebrating, the parents are happy, they're excited, and they say, oh, the school fees I've paid is worth it. Or when you pick up a project as a professional in a particular field and you do it and you know that I have actually surpassed the ordinary standard in this field, and there's that feeling of fulfillment that you get. So in today's life, everybody strive for excellence, be it at their workplace, career-wise, personal development, relationship, every sphere of life. But the problem always comes with, are you ready to put in the work? So let's talk about excellence. What does excellent mean to you? And of what importance is excellence before we talk about striving for it? Engineer Tony.
Well, if I'm the one you are asking, excellence is the product of an excellent person. Because when you talk about excellence, you are not talking about anything else but anything done well. Because when you do things well, it's the end result that matters people. It's not the process, because nobody's there to see the process. You know, and sometimes people wonder, wow, this car looks good. But maybe it took 10 years to design it. Within that 10 years, they're struggling with a particular kind of technology. And then they are saying it has to only be in 3 colors because of how dynamic it will be. And it has to be appealing to everybody. It has to look this way. It has to be flashy. You know, let everybody want to have it. So you see, that is a decision from an excellent mind. But you see, terrible people, this thing, we have been doing it every now. Let's just do this thing and go. How can you just do something and expect it to be excellent? Except if fluke happens. But when you ask, you said it yourself that, is it worth it? Is it important? It is. It is. There are several clothes out there in the shelves, but we chose the ones we are wearing. Because we are excellent in a particular way. That's why we chose this, because we feel it is what is befitting to us as a people. And when you walk out the street right now, people have terrible choices of dressing. Somebody will wear this and wear that, even though it's almost not counting now. People don't care about to match anymore. But still, when you see people wearing certain things, like I saw a shoe online, somebody says, he said, what would you do if you saw this at the funeral service? You know? So, but Joyce, when you talk about excellence, it has to come from an excellent soul. It has to come from an excellent mind. It has to come from somebody that is willing to put his best to see the end result. Because there are people, especially in this creative industry or in the creative industry. A lot of people say they are creatives. But do you know what a creative means? It means you are God's replica. God is the author of creation. That's why he placed a very large stone on top of a small, and nothing is holding it, but it's standing. So what is holding the skies? What is holding, you know, when people try to replicate what God they are trying to be excellent, like God. If you look at people's paintings, if you look at what two people will paint, you pick one over the other, but they painted the same structure, the same president of a country. And then until they told you, this is Tinubu, you'll be like, oh, wow. Like if you go to Lagos, there are so many art galleries on the street. It was just like the picture was taken and it was like duplicated and then hung on that wall. But some people, it takes you time. One time I saw Onyeka Owenu on somebody drew her. It was like you could handshake her from the picture. It was just chak. You know what they say? Chak. You see, that is coming from an excellent, it has nothing to do with expertise. It has everything to do with your decision to be an excellent person. And a lot of people don't have that decision. So if you have not decided, how can something excellent come out of you?
I like to agree with you because it also is something that is born out of a growth mindset. Because if you don't have a growth mindset, you won't think of excellence because you just want to do what everybody is doing. But you see, being excellent or striving for excellence, you going beyond the ordinary, is you deciding that I want to be exceptional. What do I need? What ingredient do I need to put to make this food different from how it used to be? Like this work, you talked about the creative industry, that I think is one of the industries that is faced with a lot of competition. And if you are not excellent, like you won't even last a month.
Nobody even care that they are in competition because they know the competitors are uncountable.
Yes.
I was talking to my daughter this morning when she brought her sheets, her results, her exam sheets, and she was telling me, and she was feeling bad that another girl beat her. And then she was telling me that this one, she beat the girl that she was the highest in the class. And she was, it was over 70. And it was only in mathematics that she got 35. And she said, Daddy, that's not my thing. I said, you say you want to be a medical doctor. So you have to have it from inside. Then it will manifest outside. But we are talking about, she was telling me that her uniform, that she doesn't like it anymore. She has outgrown it. And it's not up to a year. And she wants to change it. Then her brother said, there is someone close to the house. She said, no, you are not sure. I don't trust him. I said, why? She said he made a cloth for my younger sister, their auntie, that the neck could not fit, that her head did not enter, that she doesn't trust him. So you see, you are not even talking about excellence in that one. That person is not done with attention to details. Didn't you measure the neck of the person that you are sewing clothes for? Or you forgot that there is a body part called neck? So you understand, sometimes when people, even your clothes, Joyce, haven't they messed you up? You collect clothes from the tailor. And you know me, when I buy stuff, I don't come home and try them. There was a time they made agbada for me. I traveled to Gombe for an event. The button of the neck was like, the first button was on this side. It couldn't come close to clipping together. And it was very unlike me. It was when I got to Gombe, then I said, let me try it. And then I found out it was not working. So, this, not ready-made, but there is a way they do embroidery on clothes. And then they keep. So we had to look for someone. I think it was with you during the burial of the chief of the emir, the Maitangle.
Okay.
We had to go and buy with Hassan. We had to go and buy something. And they made it before morning. And that was what I used. So think about it. If that person is excellent, he would pay attention to details. How can you be touching, when you saw the hand of her clothes, then you keep it? You touch Solo's leg, you keep it. How will you come back to my own and remember the measurement? So Joyce, it's all about your decision of who you want to become. If you want to be the regular talk show host, you will be.
True.
If you want to be the excellent talk, everything is growth. We grow. What we do now is the end product of what we studied before the show.
That's true.
But nobody cares about, let me watch them while they study. You don't even know where we were studying. For some of us, it was in the car on our way. For some of us, it was because you are just trying to. So you must make sure, you must agree that I want everything that is coming from me let me be an excellent person first, then I ooze out excellence.
Mm.
If not, it doesn't work like magic.
True. Very true. One thing about excellence, right? Just like Engineer Tony has mentioned, is that it has to be inbuilt. It's something that swells up from the person that you are.
Mm.
So this happens to me, like, right? My mom says this.
You don't mess people's clothes up. I hope. Okay, you do. Go ahead.
Oh goodness! And incidentally, over the Christmas break, something similar happened. I'm pretty sure Linda understands what I'm talking about.
Okay.
But
Oh, you make clothes for your colleagues? Okay. Point them out to me next time.
yes,
Say, I made this, I made this, I made this.
okay, I made what I'm wearing.
Oh, wow. Excellent. Excellent. Maybe you should go and make my daughter's uniform.
Mm-hmm.
Gladly.
Mhm.
All right, so there are times when I go to court. In fact, I told my mom one time that I would not touch her material because I know that it's not going to ever come out. So I'm not going to touch it. She just look for a better tailor than me. Up until I get to that point, then I will do it gladly. But here's the point, right? If you are not ready to learn, you cannot even be excellent.
True.
Learning is key to excellence.
True.
And for you to learn, you have to let go of your pride to a certain extent.
Learn and keep learning.
Yes. You cannot say that you are excellent if you have not continuously built on yourself. And that is why I'm going to use the fashion world, since that's every time you hear that you're going through intermediate lessons or you're going through professional classes and all that, everybody is trying to grow himself so that he would be excellent in his field or she would be excellent in her field. We are all garnering towards excellence. But for some people, and I know a few others, that they don't even care. So long as they can just cut neck on the material and hand, let's go. They don't care about the extra details that they could put into the clothes to make it excellent. So the same thing as a communicator, I don't care about the extra things that I need to add into my communication. I heard one saying something that when I came for IT, when I went for internship, and one of the people I met told me that, oh, I love how you speak and all that. Gladly, I was happy about that. But another person met me and said, it doesn't matter if your English is this clean, is whether the people are hearing what you're saying or not. So these are two.
No, it doesn't matter if your English is this clean. What does that mean?
Not clean. Like, she was talking about how
Your intonation.
the accent and the intonation that you use for English.
Yeah, but
It is about
but articulations are important in communication.
Exactly. That's the point.
Because
I'm
there are people
heading
that
to.
twist their tongues
yes,
and they don't
and
communicate.
the essence of the communication is lost.
It's lost.
Some people just are not happy that you have what they don't have. So I think that's the meaning of that second definition. Go ahead.
So then I'm like, these are two different people, and one of them is telling me, oh, I love how you speak. What you just need to focus on is how clear you would sound and how neatly you would sound, but you have a beautiful voice and it would work very nicely on the radio. But another person is telling me it's not about how much you twist your tongue or this and that and this and that, and it just seemingly looked like this person did not really care about how good I expect myself to be. She doesn't even care where I am headed towards or what my attention is at. And that's another thing about excellence. Not everybody will understand you. Some people will just picture you to be
People will fight you.
full of yourself.
Nobody understands process, like
Yeah.
the person going through the
Yeah.
process.
Exactly. So as much as it lies within you and you want to be an excellent person, it is that you stay focused and block out the noise, because they would definitely be there. There's going to definitely be a lot of noise. So what I'm saying is that you need to learn continuously and you need to block out noise and distraction, because you have to keep your eyes on the prize. If not, excellence is not going to be at your reach.
I see.
He doesn't have much points. We are not talking about love.
Oh my goodness.
That's just a joke.
Yesterday
anyway.
you were disagreeing with me. Today you're all calm.
Yeah. That's just a joke anyway.
Should we touch that yesterday?
No,
should
bro.
we?
Okay, see, he wants to go back to where he has strength. Let's talk about excellence in love relationship.
Yeah, you can actually take that angle.
Yeah. You see, we are created in God's image and likeness. And if you can look around and see things, just the illustration you gave earlier, you know, how you see certain things and then you marvel, you wonder, you start asking yourself, like, how? Because you see the other side of God, how creative, how excellent he can be in putting things at the right place, right places. And then you start asking yourself, then who am I? Then the question that, okay, we are all created in the image of God. And if we are created in the image of God, you are expected, because I heard someone said that, you know, when God created the heaven and earth and everything, and he rested after creating man, he gives the battle to man to continue. And that's why you can see all these skyscrapers and the rest, and then you wonder, it all started from just sketching to a reality, because it comes from that excellence in your inner being, in your imagination, that you work it out to manifestation that people can see and can even touch and even wonder and said, so this thing can come out from. Sometimes you will hear people say, so you mean this person? That's to tell you that somehow he's been underrated. So you mean this person brought out this? So you mean this person designed this? So you mean this? So automatically you will know that somehow there's this someone is being underrated somehow in that particular field or what he does. So you see, it comes from you believing that this is who you are, and then this is what you can do, and then you now walking towards being that person and bringing out that quality that is in you. And it all boils down to the issue of choice. This is who you are. This is what you can do. But you can choose to be normal. You can choose to be average. Choosing to be average, not because that thing is not embedded in you, but you just feel now the issue of process. I think I don't have the capacity to go through that process to make me become this or excellent in this that I'm doing. So you choose the average. And that's why in life you have people that can just tell you, after all, what is life? Life is just for you. Just face wherever you want to face. If death come, you go. If food come, you eat. If it doesn't come, that's how God designed it.
When sleep comes, you sleep.
You sleep.
I think that it's this kind of notion that brought about the slogan, you only live once, right? And so you only live once, because you only live once, you don't have to put in that extra effort that you need to put in. You don't have to stress yourself.
I cannot kill myself.
And so you hear slogans like this on the street because over time we have relegated excellence to the background, and
And
we have
settle for
embraced
mediocrity.
mediocrity
Yeah.
and laziness.
Hmm.
And because we have embraced mediocrity and laziness, we're not even going anywhere. We were, earlier on, we were discussing with our colleagues. Joyce was there too. In the office, we were talking about how the education system seemingly looks like it is just crumbling. Why? Because we have a lot of people being sent to the education department, the education sector, when they have no interest in doing anything education. They don't have interest
After
in giving out
failing in their-
information. Exactly. After failing in other things. And so you're saying, okay, because this person is a failure, let's push him to education. At education, what exactly do you want
Somebody
him
that is expected to
teach?
transfer knowledge. I mean, Prudence, when you think about excellence and you look at our society today, or our environment, or our country, you cannot help but liken it to how people will just want to settle for like the average.
Yeah,
And that's why earlier on I said, if you are striving for excellence, or if you're looking at excellence, like the word in its truest form is you being outstanding, like daring to be different.
exactly.
The countries, the people we talk about as exceptional are people that dared to be different, are people that were not satisfied. There's this burning desire to do more and to give more. I remember that there was somebody that I employed her service. Like, I wanted her to do something for me, and I was in a hurry. So I was like, just do it, let me just go. And she said she cannot. In fact, the one told me that, see, nobody will make her do something that's like is not what she's supposed to do. That she would rather not do it. That if I'll hurry her, she would rather not do it than for her to do something. She has built a brand for herself. She has a name to herself. Her concern was not about me being in a hurry, but that I will go out there and somebody will ask you, where or who did this to you, and then you mention her name. And she told me that except we will have an agreement, you will not say it's from me you did this if you actually want me to do this in an hour time. I said, who do you want me to mention that did this to me? She said, then you have to allow me to do my work. And I had to. And when she finished, anywhere I entered with that, people are like, wow, where did you get this done? And a lot of other people now sorted for her service because of what she actually did. So we live in a time where everybody is in a hurry. People don't want to go through process. And no wonder the word excellent or excellent is becoming extinct. Like, this is what we have been doing for years. You
Who
can't
are
come
you
and
to come
say,
and change
yes, you have these ideas.
We have been in this church for 48 years.
Do you understand? They will not say you come with one pride. He wants to show us, what does he know that we do not know? Like, does he know how we started, or like, where are you coming from? So you see, striving for excellence, like, it is a noble cause, is a noble pursuit. All you need to do is to put in discipline. You need to put in intentionality to it, and you have, once you have clear purpose, you'll be able to achieve excellence. It's not something that is beyond doing. And that's why I said, is it easy? No, because you're daring to be different. You want to be outstanding. You want to be exceptional. You want to do something that is beyond the ordinary in your field. I remember how Engineer Tony always emphasize excellence, and sometimes you want to think, this thing would take a lot of time. Can we meet up with time? But then at the end of, you want to do something that is not the usual. You want to do something that when people see, they will appreciate. So, and at the end of the day, you see that after the whole thing and everybody is so excited about it, and you can't help but appreciate the time you put in, the effort you put in. And then even if like you don't get that, like, maybe you're expecting some kind of accolades or appreciation or some kind of things. Even when you don't get that, the satisfaction you feel by doing what is required is actually enough for you. We had a
Satisfaction is enough reward.
Do you
for
understand?
excellence.
You remember the conversation we had about, I think we had this conversation about excellence and how that everybody just wants to do what is expected, but you can't achieve excellence with that. Excellence is you doing, like, going beyond
Extra.
that is just it. You going extra mile.
There
And-
is a saying, Joyce.
Mm,
You measure 10 times
mm,
and then you cut once. You don't measure once and cut 10 times.
mm.
You lose the material.
True.
Mm.
True.
You know, I I am a firm believer in making whatever I do look different. That's the only thing that will attract people to you. Have you ever been by a bus stop where you know there are countless buses coming? You make a choice. You make a choice. Sometimes the bus is new, but you know the attitude of the driver. So you don't want to enter. You want to be comfortable with everything you do. That is why things are singled out for people with excellence. You see, there are companies that manufacture cars, but they have what they call samples. They make them for few individuals. What is trending now in the world is that people order cars from companies, cars that have been discontinued. So you go and call the company and say, do me 1985 Cadillac. That particular one. Yes, that's what I want. It's been discontinued. They are going to charge you more than what they are selling the latest one now. But you say that's what you want. And when you drive it in town, you are the only one with that. It's not anyhow thought. It's an excellent spirit that you see, Joyce. Live before the wall folds. You understand that? Live before the wall folds. Like, don't just exist. Because in this life, some people are existing. Some people are living. People that have excellent taste. People that have excellent procedures in life. People that have everything excellent. They live. People that do anything anyhow. Everything anyhow. They exist. You want red shirt? Why would you do with red shirt? Why there is yellow one? It's true. Let me return it. Oga, I beg, change it for me. My friend said yellow. You are existing. Wear your red comfortably, proudly. This excellence that you're talking about, Joyce said, is you putting in extra effort to look different from everybody. In other words, standing out. Standing out. We have people. There are people you work with. There are some you just don't want anybody to make you work with them. There are some you are trusting God that this project comes. Wow. I know someone here at work that always tell me, sir, whenever we are doing this, even if you don't want me to be part, I want to volunteer. Because I think she knows the set and she's comfortable working with the set. But there are other people that they look at you, they say, you are working with Solo, and immediately you say Solo, they pout their mouth. Because they know Solo is not available. He's always giving instruction. And even with your effort, you come and condemn it. And he was not there. I'm just being metaphoric now. You can use a different name, maybe Hassan or Mata, but Solo is what is coming to my mind. Yesterday, I used myself as an example. No, my name, not myself. So, Joyce, there are people that want to be excellent, but there are things that are drawing them back, like the availability of things. Like now, you work here, and then you are working at a threshold budget. There's a limit to what you can do.
True.
But there are some people at the same time, you give them the whole budget of our content. That's one content for them. Yet, that content is still terrible. Like they used an old phone to shoot everything. It all has to do with sitting down and measuring. And that is the point where we hate. Solo was talking about architecture, skyscraper, buildings, and all that. He said it starts with a drawing. That is true. But as a matter of fact, before the drawing, there is a concept. You conceive it. It comes to your mind, then you put it on paper. Then you say, if it has to go that tall, what will make it different from standard building? That's a skyscraper too. But what will make it different from that? Okay, I want to use glass all through. That's fine. And I don't want any metal. So you start making research. What kind of glass can go 100 story without cracking and take the weight of every floor on it from the foundation? And then China tells you, no, they can do this for you. America tells you they can make this for you. You said, no, you are not satisfied. You need something that is like 10 feet thick in terms of glass, and you want it kept on each other. And then you find it, finally you find it, and people start traveling from other countries. What is making people go to Mecca? What is making people go to Israel? What is making people go to Dubai? What is making people go to America? If you keep America and Togo for somebody, they will even want to slaughter you for mentioning Togo as a rival for America to choose from. Because they know Togo is doing well, but America is doing excellent. Do you understand?
Yes.
There's somebody, if you say, go to America, I tell you, there's nothing in America. I want to go to China. America is doing excellent. China is doing excellently. So honestly, these things, like Solo said on the show yesterday, he said it's a matter of preference. But when it comes to excellent, it has nothing to do with preference.
But excellence is not without challenge. You know, while you were talking, and even earlier when we were talking about education and the educational system, I remember mentioning some people that are at the decision making. There are some situation that is beyond you. Like, for example, we're talking about education. You have education minister. You have people that come up to set up all this curriculum and just pass it to the implementers. And in some cases, you find out that the people that saddled with this responsibility, like I mentioned, are not even like educationists, and then or people that are professional in that field. We once had a minister of education that is an accountant. And then there are instances that is a meeting or a conference is called for curriculum.
An educated person taught him accounting.
Okay. so these people are supposed to come up with curriculum for the educational sector, and they are not even professionals in that field.
Accounting.
They will come up, do you understand? They will come up with this curriculum, and the teacher is expected, who is the professional, to implement it. And he's seeing the instructional material and the what is not even matching, or looking at what is required, like the peculiarity of the student here in Nigeria, like, and the curriculum is not in any way matching. So it can be a challenge to striving for excellence. Like, thinking about excellence generally at workplace, you can face that challenge in as much as I am a person of excellence, a person that desire to put in excellence in all that I do. There might be a limit to what I can achieve, knowing well that as a subordinate that have a head or have decision makers, that people that make decisions that I have to follow. So how do you navigate your way through? Sometimes in relationship as well, while you strive for excellence, maybe even though yesterday we talked about defining relationships, that you are somebody of excellence, that you need to look out for some compatibility so that you don't get frustrated along the line. So, but how do you navigate these challenges? I strive for excellence, but I don't have the support, or I don't have the, like, there are actually things that are standing as obstacles. What do you do in such instance? Because for some people out there, you hear that somebody, it was that I was telling you, I called someone because I needed a service, and I said, oh, I went to work, I went to sign in. So I went, but not to work, but just to sign in. I will be back. So I was now asking, so, and when I was talking about it, I said, but well, in some cases, they don't even have the work to do. So people just go and sign. Then they come back to their businesses, and then they just continue living. So what happens when you want to be a person of excellence? You actually desire to be exceptional and standing, but there are obstacles. How do you navigate it?
Well, I know it's not easy. It's frustrating, because you see,
or perhaps we work with people that are not, they don't have that mindset of excellence.
You see, it's inbuilt. Excellent. It's inbuilt. And anytime you want to express it, it's just like an architecture. He has the picture of everything, that he wants to bring out, but the materials for him to even start the drawing, and then what he needs to even make it to come to reality, what is inside him that is visualizing. You understand? And then you will know that person will be frustrated. I just use that, and it's the same thing with anybody that always crave for excellence, want to stand out. Whatever the person is bringing, whatever the person is giving out, he want to see that extra that people will see in it and appreciate what he's doing. It's frustrating. And I don't know the kind of words that someone will use to really describe how frustrating it's someone with that kind of excellent spirit feels when
It's painful.
when those things are not there.
And
But
go
It's
ahead.
painful.
Okay, but I feel the way you will know that this person is a person of excellence and he will stand out. You will notice from the little that is at his disposal that he uses. That's one thing that I know. Yes, you want more. Yes, you want a bigger space. Yes, you want a big studio that you will put everything that needed for your drawing to draw that skyscraper that is in your head. But it's not there. But you just give him one small Akul key for him to construct for you. And then you are like, you mean you did this? Because no matter small assignment given to the person in his line, you will just see that excellent there. So people like that, you will imagine that if given an opportunity, if having the entire resources, if this, you will already see the bigger picture already, because whatever the person does, no matter how small, once you give him as an assignment, he makes sure he executes it well
And delivers.
and delivers. So for me, I would say you just have to use whatever is at your disposal and just express yourself in that little way. Let people see that excellence before.
Solo said certain things are inbuilt. Like excellence is inbuilt. Like you are not born with it, but you
Develop
import it and keep it so it stays within you. You crave it, you desire it, and you make it your own personality. When you talk about people who you work with, but they think differently from you in terms of achieving excellence and all that, it is easier to deal with than to have an organization that expects you to be excellent without providing the tools for excellence. You know, the atmosphere or the environment, rather, I think environment is a better word to use. The environment needs to be conducive for excellence. That is not an excuse anyway. But in the same instance that Solo gave, you have to show that you are worthy to be appreciated from whatever corner you are working from. That is when the need for a bigger space, a better working environment must be created. Because every organization wants to see herself in a place where the other organizations are not. So if you have staff that are willing to take you there, go and do whatever it takes to look for money. Sometimes when you see some CEOs behaving some type of ways, it is the staff that are not encouraging. The person knows that when he brings money and puts it in, it's more like he has thrown money. He rather donates that money to the church. But there are some organizations you go to. You see the staff. They are. You see, Joyce. There is an organization that I still consult for in Abuja. Like, it kills me how they work. It like I wonder, are these human beings? No wonder people don't last there. But there are members of staff that have been there for like 10 years that I've met. And all the people that are there, they met me in that organization. Because when I joined the organization, it was just the boss and the accountant. And then they brought me as a third person from outside. I don't go to work regularly, but I do all sorts of things with them. They work closely with the National Assembly. They do policy and, So anytime I go there, I see how people work. They still complain. The best is not yet out from you, Joyce. What is this? This is trash. Meanwhile, when you send it to the world, they are like, how do you get your materials? Everything's so wonderful. Yet when you go there, they criticize everything. You can't just get a yes from the first submission. There is always a better way to do stuff. I give it up to you, Mr. Clement Wanko. There's always a better way to do stuff. You cannot approach that man with anything If you check my turbaning program, you see their letter of recognition, whatever is a congratulatory letter in it. And it took 3 weeks before I got it. When he heard, he said, "We are drafting something. I want to get something befitting for you." I was already almost printing before I got it. He said, "Tony, check. If it's not good, we'll change it."
Another 3 weeks.
Yeah, Joyce, you have to disregard what the world is thinking. You have to disregard what the world is thinking. And funny enough, let me crack up on some people who have been listening because the show has been so serious. You that is talking about excellence like this, and you have broken up relationship twice. What happened? Okay, this brings me to my point. Thank God for the laughter. This brings me to my point. Be saying your secret on today's live. They will be used against you. Don't worry. This brings me to my point. No lady wants to go out with anyhow woman. No lady. Maybe that's why you're still single. Because you don't want anyhow man. If it's just to have a man and marry, you would have been with 18 children from 4 different men by now. That is the truth. Because you enter and come out and enter. Because your decision is any man that comes. But you know what? In the midst of having that desire, you should have excellence as well. Ladies cannot tell you what they want from a man.
It's difficult.
But they will tell you what they can give to a man. But they will tell you what they want from a man. He has to be earning at least this in a year for me and my children to be comfortable. You don't even know if you are impotent or not. That hits hard, right? That's true.
Yes.
That's true. And out of all the things that you are looking for, 75% of the men that exist don't have it. So the other 25 that are left, maybe 10% of them are married. And you are left with 15. Let's say 5 of them are disabled, but they have the qualities, they have the money you are looking for and all of that. You are left with 10. Out of the 10, maybe 7. Yes.
Another part is
okay. Out of the 10, maybe 5 to 7%. You are not their type. So the 3%, do you think they are willing to settle with you? No, let's just think about it. I'm just thinking.
You know, we sought for excellence, but we're not willing to give excellence. We don't even
Joyce,
have
people that come to you. Joyce, there is a kind of girl I will toast. Flesh and blood will not reveal to me to double my hustle. When you call her, "Oh, I am at Southern Fries," or "I am at KFC. I'm trying to have lunch." When you call her, "Oh, I'll be in Lagos next week. I just want to have weekend." And she has never asked you for money. When you call her, "I think I will be in Dubai. I want to just go and rest. Work is killing me." She has never asked you for money. Can you fit in as a man? You are struggling with 85,000 every month. And you are looking for a decent relationship, and the girl is just the perfect description of you. She has not said she can't do the relationship, but she's spelling out all the things to you.
One said the lady gave up on him. He was earning 20K. He said, "Baba, the way I love this girl, if she comes to see me, I don't stop bike or keke. I want to trek with her so that people will see and identify this one is my babe." But she just gave up. That calculation, she saw
She
that
will
there's
give
no
up. She will give up. Do you know what, Joyce? She's not looking down on you. She's not looking down on you. Your level of excellence and hers don't match. That was why she has conceived the issue or the idea of excellence 20 years ago, and she started building it. So if you start building your own now, maybe she challenged you and you start building, it will take 20 years. 20 years added to her age, she might be 60 or 50. That's old. Yesterday I was listening to one of you. Was it one of you that was saying a lady was 30, she was already old, she was 30 already? And I was laughing. We have people that are 50 and above. Nobody is pricing what they're selling.
Please, who put that age mark? Recently, I was thinking about it, that once
It's
a lady
Africa.
gets to 30,
Joyce is
so it's
Africa.
like something is wrong with you.
Even though abroad they struggle with it, but the one in Africa, abroad
This
is just your
30.
family.
Father
But in
of-
Africa, community. community.
That is a
Prudence. You think you are growing young, and that is neighbor.
That has nothing to do with
15 blocks away from your house. Prudence. You think time is passing, oh.
Kina ta zaɓe.
And
I was because you are growing old.
and because of something like this, I was recently having a conversation with my peers. Actually, we're around the same age range, and they were talking about how a man of 60 can find a wife, and a lady of
40.
30, 40 is struggling to find one. And I told, and I was telling the ladies with us, I said, do not let any of this. You're striving for excellence. You want to have an excellent marriage. You want to have an excellent, and that's another thing that people don't picture. Excellence in relationship is underrated. If you want to have an excellent relationship with your spouse, you have to have a lot of things that you are garnering towards, right? And then you're telling me that I should not focus on building myself or focus on my attention on who I want as a man, but rather I should just accept anybody that comes my way because time is
Ticking.
No, I'm not going to do that. And I was telling the ladies there that you cannot let someone make a decision for you just because the person perceives that this is what is best for you. It has to be what you know is best for you that you would go for. It's the same thing about excellence. What is best for you in excellence, that is what you go for. You cannot let yourself be discouraged. You cannot let yourself be deterred. You cannot let yourself be distracted. You have to stay on track. It is not an easy ride. It is not something that you vividly pictured the challenges that comes with excellence, how some things are just positioned to frustrate your efforts, but you have to still keep on keeping on. You cannot, even Christianity in itself, if you want to really get to the point where God wants you to be,
You have to be excellent.
you have to be excellent.
It's just I wish we continued this conversation, but our time is actually fast spent. But it's just important that people understand that when you talk about excellence, it's just the quality of you striving to be exceptional, to be outstanding, and doing things beyond the ordinary in your professional, in your field, or what any area of life that you actually desire to be outstanding. And when you strive for excellence, it's actually a noble pursuit. Set goals. Be consistent, keep learning, surround yourself with people that are excellent if you actually want to be an excellent person. And when you do that, things work out for you. It's really important. Be a person of value. I've said this countless times on today's life. Know your purpose. Define who you are. What is guiding your actions, your behaviors. When you do that, it makes everything easy. We'll come your way tomorrow with another exciting edition of Today's Life. For now, bye-bye. Stay blessed.